Okay, we're getting ready to kick it off. Thanks for everybody coming out to CSC. Raise your hand first time out to CSC. Look at this. You win the Army 10 mile, or you place, and you're forced to come to CSC. That's how we're going to grow our numbers. But if you can't make it out of your house, you can't check us out on the command channel. First timers here, have you ever heard of the command channel? Verizon at home. Channel 29 in your house. If your wife can't make it, turn it on, click, you get to see yourself again. Tell your kids, your married, or because over and over again, you can see yourself getting to the Lord. Later on, Channel 29. It's getting better every day. And as we learned last time, we have music from 2014 on the radio. We got a lot of positive feedback on that. Well, let's kick it off with our volunteer awards. First, we're going to start off with our Fort Irwin Army 10 Miler team, who did an awesome job. Who's the captain of the team? All you come on, everyone, come on up here. We're gonna stay in order. Just picked up running last week. What was your time, Sergeant?
55 minutes.
Wow. I was 1 second behind. I couldn't be at my life depended on it. But this team here has been training for how many months?
3 months.
3 months. 11th ACR scored away with some awesome shirts. They went out there, and overall as a team came in 4th. I get that correct?
It's 4th in the mixed division.
Next division. Any other highlights you want to bring up?
Yes, Lieutenant Jacob was the top finisher with 54 minutes, 21 seconds.
Very impressive. We got some great packs for you guys. And again, thanks for representing Fort Irwin out there in D.C. My wife always loved to say we run that several times. It's a sound of freedom when you hear one of our wounded warriors clopping along with a missing appendage, and it keeps you going. You think you're having a bad day and it's a tough run. There's a lot of motivation out there on that course. I did mention that, but I don't think anyone caught that. Overall, second place in Masters. He didn't want to mention that when he highlighted Lieutenant Jacobs there. But overall, in the whole Masters division, you're looking at the second place. Congratulations. Who's going to be on the team next year? Anyone PCSing? PCSing? So we got 2, 3. We got 2. Got it. Staying here. Hey, one last round of applause. Thanks, guys. Channel 29. Come see yourself on TV. All right, and we had, if you didn't make it out to the Mud and Guts run, it was a great time. Great time had by all. We had kids, we had mixed teams, we had people from off base. But what we got with us today is the first place team. If I got it right, Team Texas. All right, come on up, Team Texas. Come on up here. You guys going to be around the next time we do it? Are you going to be PCSers, or is this team staying intact? Staying intact. What do you want to see in next month?
More options. Going over all those berms. There's a lot more berms. We did the previous one right before that, and it was less berms.
Come on out and join us next time. But look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. We get individual medals. Sir, if you would please do the honor. And what was the time, Miss Gemma? Gemma and Jeremy, come on up here and get. We'd like to get you in this picture too. Who were the main organizers from the MWR side? What was their time? Do we know?
This team here had an outstanding completion time of 31 minutes and 58 seconds.
Fastest team by far. Most other teams were like 40-some average, like 40-something minutes. So about 10 minutes later, after this team here across the finish line, they were already cooled off, changed, and having their first burger. What was the secret to your success?
Doing it the year prior.
There you go. So come on out. We'll do it again next year. Hey, can we get one last round of applause for Team Texas? What do you guys represent? You're all from the same league?
We're all from 4211.
Yeah. In the house. In the house. Resident in the house. Thanks, man. All right, sir, any opening comments?
Yeah, I just want to let the Mud and Guts guys know, Colonel Braga wanted to have 2 live bobcats in one of those pits. next year, you know, I can't say that won't happen.
That's right. You guys are going to be on the design committee now. Make sure, Gemma, you get their names. We'll have an obstacle named after Team Texas. This will be the Team Texas obstacle, the next one, all right? Sound good? Okay, let's keep going. Old business, what do we got? Nothing. Things you need to know. All right, a lot of stuff in the news. We got a guest speaker today. Your one and only Medak Commander, Irwin.
And the main point of this is that knowledge is the key to this thing. As everybody noticed about a month ago, this was the panic in the news. It was everything going on. And already the attention's starting to die off a little bit. I think people have acknowledged that this isn't running rampant in the United States. It's not an imminent threat to our security as a nation. But there are some key things that everybody needs to know about this, because it could potentially turn into something very serious. And our own personal hygiene and control and knowledge of this thing is the key to making sure it doesn't get out of hand. Because bottom line is the Ebola virus has been a disease that was first recognized in the world in 1976. It's generally been contained to rural areas in Africa because it does have a high fatality rate. It typically doesn't have a chance to get outside that area. But with the advent of international air flight and aid workers going to areas and then plop, they're back in their living rooms 48 hours later after they're done, the potential for this does exist, that it could spread and get a foothold here in the United States, which would obviously be very tragic. But the bottom line is this is not transmitted casually from one person to the other. You would have to come in contact with actual wet body fluids from a sick person with Ebola. And that sounds like it'd be hard to do, but it really could be as easy as somebody wiping their nose, touching the doorknob, you following immediately behind them, and touching that as well. So it is not impossible. But the odds on getting this are way less than getting struck by lightning. And we don't go around worried about that all the time. So as we look at this, it's only somebody who is actively sick with the disease. Somebody's not going to get exposed, have it in their body, and be transmitting this stuff around. Okay, they are going to have a fever, they are going to get really sick, and then you're going to get exposed to their body fluid somehow while they're still sick. And hopefully we would all have the foresight of avoiding doing that. We wouldn't typically run around exposing ourselves to that with actively sick people. And it's the same thing with this disease. Some of the other points to this is we don't have any vaccines right now. There are 2 vaccines that are in the works, and you know, necessity is the mother of invention kind of thing. We're starting to work very hard on these because it did come into the international news very recently, as everybody knows. So there are 2 vaccine trials that are currently in the works. They are not approved for human use yet. And the threat of this in the general population outside the jungles of Africa is so low that it wouldn't be worth the threat to humans to use untested vaccinations on folks when the threat's that low. That make sense? So, God forbid something terrible would happen. There are things in the works. It cannot be spread typically through treated drinking water, approved food sources, and things like that as well. This doesn't have the potential for going crazy like that. One of the theories is that this thing starts from eating infected odd animals like bats and monkey meat, or potentially things. So again, not something that would typically be a threat in our population. But once it gets into the human, it is transmissible. And just being in the country, again, it's not casual contact, it doesn't. So people that might be traveling to and from don't pose any risk. Okay? So this next slide I have kind of puts the Ebola virus into perspective of what you're looking at. So that top line there, 1 in 13.3 million, even in the current state we're in where we have had a few cases in the United States, that's what would be considered the risk for a U.S. citizen. And you can see right below that is dying in a plane crash, lightning strike, dying from a bee sting, just to put that in perspective. But that one down there on the bottom there, Monrovia is the capital of Liberia. You decide to take an adventure travel to Liberia, you would be at a significantly more risk for that kind of thing. So again, just the situational awareness of this kind of threat. Okay. So the main point of this, like I said, this was started about a month ago as a VA-directed exhort that we do a town hall briefing like this just to keep everybody informed. So at this point, I would like to open it up for anybody that's got any questions about this or any other health-related matters. I'd be happy to field as well. Yes, sir.
Sneezing. Somebody sneezes in a crowded room.
Yes. That would be considered bodily fluids. It would be a very short kind of dispersal area. You know, if you were within 2 or 3 feet of somebody and they did sneeze in such a way that you got wet, that would be it. And if the body fluid stays wet, the virus can actually persist until that body fluid dries, basically. Once the body fluid dries, the virus would die, essentially, although whether that virus was actually alive was a whole other discussion, but it would no longer be infective at that point. And, you know, as we say these things, our experience with this disease is very limited. As I'm sure some folks are sitting out there thinking that there were nurses who knew exactly what they were doing in full protective gear and somehow managed to get infected with this stuff. One of the theories behind that is as we do certain medical procedures where we're drawing blood, where we're expressing a sputum sample, this stuff does get aerolized for short periods of time. So if you were doing some type of an invasive medical procedure on somebody with the active disease, you might be able to vaporize the blood, is one of the theories. So, yes, sir?
I was watching TV and the Center for Disease Control said that one of the best things we could do is get our flu shots. Have a decrease. I'm serious.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So my question is, if a family member needs a flu shot, how would they go about getting one? If they miss your
The clinic is 100% full open. You walk in there and your name in our computer, you'll get your flu shot. We'll also put it out any VA civilians, anybody that might not even be in our system. We're giving out the flu shot as a public health measure. The main effectiveness of the flu shot is that everybody around you's had it. The best way not to get the flu is to never meet anybody who has the flu. And that's what we're going for with the vaccination program. My goal is to get everybody on this post vaccinated with the flu shot. We've currently got 6,000 or 7,000 doses readily available. The preventive medicine department, we're doing a lot of community outreach things like the health fair over on Saturday. You come in, you get the flu shot. And the point the general is trying to make here, Ebola really doesn't have a treatment. We don't have a drug to get rid of it. Your own immune system is what's eventually going to have to fight the infection and get you back to health. The goal of medical treatment would be to make sure you don't dehydrate, make sure you don't die of some other cause while you're sick with the Ebola virus. So your best bet is a strong immune system. If you had the flu at the time you were exposed to the Ebola virus, you'd be much more likely to get sick from it because your immune system's already knocked down. So the best way to not get sick is to stay healthy, as facetious as that sounds. Okay, so the next side of this is, from the disaster scenario point of view, God forbid Ebola does get here, we have purchased 10,000 respiratory isolation masks. So, were something to happen, I do have biological filtration masks for everybody who lives on this coast. They don't have an expiration date. I think, as we're likely not to use them, my hospital now has 10 years worth of respiratory masks we will use. They're not going to expire, but like I said, God forbid, we do have that contingency plan in place.
And we did remove bat meat from the Senate Items menu as well.
Yes. Good. Yep. Okay. Well, that's all I have. There are a lot of resources that you might have guessed. If you go online, you will find a million different references where you can read about Ebola. I would encourage you to stick to sites like the CDC or the American Academy of Family Practice. With that in mind, there's a whole bunch of handouts on the back table you might have come in. There's things directed at soldiers, family members, general practitioner type of information that we give out to folks and some of those websites and some basic facts.
Thanks, Jason. Yep, all that material's on the back table. You grab it on the way out. There's also 3x5 cards if you've got questions anytime during this. You can write that out and hand it to Mr. Dupree as this is ongoing. Thanks, Jason. Yep. Who we got next? Housing? Carlos?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Step back to follow right there. On everybody's, before I even start with the slides up here, on everybody's table, there's a small flyer. I just wanted to kind of highlight that we're having a Halloween contest and a decorating contest. The details are on the flyer, how to nominate. There's still time. On Thursday, the 30th, we're going to be going out and looking at homes. So if your house or a neighbor's house, somebody that you feel the house is decorated, please send us a message. All the details are on the flyer. There's going to be some good prizes, including the grand prize winner. They basically win a free clean when they move out of the post. So please pass the word out and get that out. We think it's going to be good. Next one, resident surveys. So I talked about it last time. The resident surveys are coming up. In fact, they launched today. They'll be coming via email, and they'll be coming from California Military Survey at CEL Associates. This is your opportunity to give feedback. This is the opportunity to let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. There's a comment section if you want to add additional information. So it's really important, and this is how we know what to focus on. So that should be going out. Check your inbox. It's being sent to whatever email was provided at time of move-in or when we call and verify. So if you don't get anything and you want to participate, just contact the housing office, and then we'll see what happened, what email went to. So that'll be going on. We'll probably have it open for about 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah. Next, cleaning workshops. Next one coming up November 19th. If you're going to be PCSing, or you know somebody's going to be PCSing and you want to clean the house yourself, we highly recommend you visit the workshops that basically walk you through the whole process and what we're going to be looking for when we clear the home. Maleficent party. So November 8th, Saturday, we're going to be doing a Maleficent pizza party. It'll be right here at Sandy Basin. We had a pretty good turnout for the night before Christmas. We're expecting a little bit bigger turnout for the Maleficent. We will have free pizza, the movie's free for everybody, and we think that's going to be fun. That's going to be November 8th, Saturday at 7 p.m. here at the community center. And once again, we ask that you please help us get the word out so everybody knows that they're going to be here. This is an opportunity for them. Girls and housing, we know that's an issue, and we're working with environmental. Environmental told me today that they set up 2 water traps, so hopefully that's going to help, but it's going to take a little bit of time. But we are working that issue to try to mitigate that problem. Reminder that we're going to be closed on Veterans Day, and the last one is trash pickup. For trash on Veterans Day, it's going to be like normal, so if your trash day was on Veterans Day, it's still going to be picked up on that day. There was a change in the trash schedule for some residents in Sandy Basin. The notices went out, so just be aware that there was a few changes made for the trash pickup dates. And that's it for now.
Thanks, Carlos. Mohammed.
Good morning, sir. This is Mohammed Bari from Public Works. Pleased to announce that for the community and the mission, for the last year we awarded about $60 million worth of SRM flood recovery, wind recovery projects. And on top of that, 2 major projects going on right now, the water treatment plant and also the hospital. So there's lots of construction going on. It's all to improve quality of life at Fort Irwin, but it does not come without some ongoing challenges. We will have some road closures that will be needed to complete the construction. Especially, we are starting with SCE. In the middle of next month, November, they will be starting doing some conduit and wiring laying down in the ground. Next slide, please. This is the area, especially the Boston Road, Lanford Lake Road, Goldstone Road, and B Avenue. Those are the major areas where you will have some road closures. We will be planning to close maybe block at a time so that we can have least impact on the traffic. But you can help us maybe leaving the home office a couple of minutes earlier and watch for the road closure, and please support the working people. They are working for you, and their safety and your safety is most important. So please help us keeping these projects going, and let us help you improve the quality of life. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the major area. There are 3 projects going on from SCE. One is connecting, we need 2 connections to the hospital, one from the substation in the housing area and one on the substation on 3rd Street. And then there will be an intertie connection between the 2 subs also. So there will be lots of work going on these roads. So please help us keep this going. Next slide, please. And the other thing I am seeking a lot of help from you is on the water conservation. California is in drought conditions, so please help us conserving water. If you see some leaking pipes or breaking pipes or the sprinklers, please call these numbers on this flyer. This flyer is available everywhere, so please help us in that. On the borough conditions, we are asking you to call us if you cite boroughs in the housing area somewhere so that we can properly place the water trap to keep those boroughs out of the housing area. Thank you.
And Mohammed, explain water traps so people don't think we're having a road drowning in boroughs and hate mail go up. We're not against boroughs.
Yeah, that's one reason they're coming to the housing, because they're not finding lots of water or greens in the area.
For water or boroughs? The borough numbers for the DPW there, Mohammed.
We have numbers from the biologists, so we'll send and we'll put on the Facebook and everywhere the numbers so that they can call us.
Thanks, Tom. Son Bright.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Son Bright. I'm the Opportunity Advisor for the Post. End of the quarter's coming up here real soon again. And next month on August 26th, we're going to be hosting Native American Heritage Month. This will be the last event for this quarter. The event is sponsored by 2nd Squadron, 11th ACR. We're going to have guest speakers, some entertainment, cultural food samplings, education materials. It'll be a great event again. As always, it is open up to the public. Anybody is invited to come. If you want to use it for your quarterly training, please ensure that somebody's here monitoring the individuals coming through. They have a sign-in roster, and then conduct the main running correctly. But 11:30 to 1300 right here in the Sandy Basin Community Center, open to anyone and everyone within the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Son Bright. Zeb.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Zeb Paul, Our Services Director for Child and Physical Services. Next slide, please. That was it. Okay. Sue asked, one back, please, Dick. Hey, no, one more. There you go. Okay. Child and Physical Services offers rotational Saturdays and holidays. That's one rotational Saturday per month, and it's by reservation only basis, and we need 15 signups in order to open up the facility. Cost is $4 per hour. Next one is, next rotation Saturday will be the 15th of November, so please register by the 3rd of November. Next slide, please. Winter sports season is about to start, and with that comes the developmental Start Smart basketball program for ages 3 to 4. Cost is $20, and you see the enrollment dates there, and the season starts on the 6th, and moves to January, rest of the 10th of February. Likewise, for the older kids, ages 5 to 18, we have basketball teams. Cost is $55 for the season, and enrollment's on the 17th through the 2nd January, and then season starts on the 12th. January runs till March 11th. Next slide, please. Continue with winter sports. We have winter cheerleading, and if you never see those little cheerleaders out with their pom-poms and their outfits and everything, it's a real hoot. So come out there and support that program. Enrollment is on the 17th of November through January the 2nd. The season's similar to the basketball season. Wrestling was a big hit last year over at the Middle School Teen Center. I expect it to be also a big program this year. It was really gratifying to see one of the world's oldest sports being so well participated in. So the ages are 5 to 18. The cost is $60, and enrollment is the same as cheerleading. Season is also the same, actually the 6th through March 26th. So come out and support these programs. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Zeb. Ms. Chandler.
Morning. I'm here to represent fitness, and we offer a variety of different fitness classes. I am looking for new fitness instructors. If you or your spouse is interested, just call me and email me. Next slide. And I just wanted to say how proud I am of the 10-miler team. They're so motivated.
Jeremy.
Good morning. Fort Irwin second Mud and Guts Run, another fantastic turnout, great event. We had over 300 teams, individuals, and youth complete the 17 obstacle course. And the stadium, Fort Irwin's own Team Texas, completed the course the fastest in the first place team category. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irwin. I'm the Director of Outdoor Recreation. This first slide you can see, Outdoor Rec has a lot to offer, including a complete bike shop, repair shop, a lot of opportunities. Next slide, please. Desert Discovery Tour is the only of its kind in the military. So the price is $60 a person for an 8-hour trip, or $200 if you want a complete 4-seat vehicle yourself. In retrospect, the Las Vegas has pretty much a same type of trip, which is 4 hours, which is about 7 times the cost of what we offer here. And I had somebody else take that trip in Vegas, and they actually said that our trip was better. So if you haven't taken that opportunity, we have a trip going on November 1st and one on December 6th. The local areas, these trips do not go into the box, because we know you've seen that already. So come up and see us, and we can get you signed up for that. Also on November 1st, we have a hike in the California Mountains. It's a 4-hour hike, and it's through a canyon. You can see to the right, there's a picture of the last hike that we had up there, and it's a lot of fun. So come up and join us. If you don't know where we're at, building 4100, we're on Goldstone Road out by the ranges or the horse stables or the RV park, whichever one you go best. Any questions?
For the entire, for November, December, you can go in any facility and find out what's going on, what's taking place. So you have it, and it's accessible to the community, not just for those of us here at CSC. As well, yes ma'am, absolutely. So as Ms. Martin said, we will also have it posted on Facebook, but it's more for, like I said, outside of CSC, we want to reach the community, so there will be calendars in each facility on, the big calendars where you can see them. Any questions?
I have a question. What day is that furniture sale? The 15th? It's a Saturday. Of this month, of November? It's of November?
November 15th.
December 13th from 11 to 4.
Any more questions?
Thanks, Lynn.
Good afternoon. Just a quick reminder, coming from the commissary, we're looking for a home for that pumpkin. Come, take a guess, drop it in there, and we still have probably about 6 tons of pumpkins left if y'all need any. Come down. That's it.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Terry McBride. I'm the NTC and Fort Irwin Command Chaplain. Isn't this weather awesome? I tell you, when God turns the pizza oven off here, it's a good thing. And I said chapel on Sunday, one of the services, enjoy it while it's here for some of you first-timers, because the Lord's going to turn it back on. Heat's going to go back up, but this is a great time to be able to be here in California. And just to highlight a couple things, the center chapel is completely shut down. This is a good thing. We are revamping Center Chapel, and one of my goals, vision, and objectives when I got here was to make the place, at least at the Religious Support Operations campus, a better place to include Black Horse Chapel. Black Horse Chapel has been totally redone inside, and for the first time in the history of this installation, it has an air conditioning in there. Mohammed, I want to thank you. I thank the Garrison Command and staff. Hey, folks, how those congregations survive without AC, I do not know. They had good windows. Yeah, that's right. You always get beat up, you know. But it's a God thing, truly, to have air conditioned at the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment Chapel, which is awesome. And we're thinking about moving some congregations over there and kind of switching some times, which is a good thing. But if you'll see on the slide, our Roman Catholic Mass, and then our contemporary General Protestant service, and the multicultural gospel service, thanks to our Post Theater folks there, we are meeting there, and we packed out the house there. A lot of kids, a lot of parents kept their kids in the service because their children said, we know Chapel McBride's going to show a movie. Well, we didn't show a movie on that day. So those are the changes. To be determined on how long that Center Chapel is going to be closed. They are doing an asbestos abatement. They're taking out 1968 linoleum and asbestos underneath of that since Vietnam. They're going to go ahead and abate that, get rid of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into that chapel. We're going to have new carpet. We're going to have rock slate underneath the pews. All the pews are being torn out. They're going to redo those. Hey, it's going to be a good place. I will just add that each month we have between 4,000 and 5,000 people come through the Center Chapel and our campuses, counting men and women and children. Top that, I'll tell you. A lot of people come to worship. Next slide. Hey, this is awesome for our middle school and high schoolers. We're going to go to Long Beach, California. I'm going to put on a beanie. I'm going to, try to act like a high schooler. Me and my wife and many other youth volunteers. We're going to go to Long Beach. There's a Christian concert going to go on there. I think about 14 bands are going to be there. We're going to take a bunch of our teens from Silver Valley and Fort Irwin Middle School to be able to go there and hear some great worship on 8 November. And then on the 21st and 22nd, Acquire the Fire right in Anaheim. We have our Youth of the Chapels ministry, which is just a great thing. Then you can see during block leave, the services are going to remain as scheduled, but we're going to have on the 21st a post-wide Protestant combined service. So the gospel and the general Protestant will meet. And then on Christmas Eve, just like we did last year, we'll have Roman Catholic Christmas Eve Mass. And then after the Catholics leave and go home, the Protestants will come in there, and we're going to have a candlelight service like we did last year. And then on the 28th is, again, a combined Protestant service that we'll have together. So hopefully we might be back in the chapel. If not, we'll continue at the theater. Next slide. And then finally, this is really good. Our operations group chaplain on the Bronco team, Chaplain Prost, I tried to get him to start a study there for all the critter teams, and he's got one going now. And when he departs, we want to continue this ministry, but it's at 05:30 to 6:15. You got to get up early, man, to go to the Bronco CP for a Bible study. It's right next to the Sidewinders, right there on Barstow. You can't miss it. And we just want to invite you folks to go to that. Hey, I'm sub to your questions. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Awesome. Hey, you have a great, great blessing day. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Good morning. I just want to let everybody know that our Winter Welfare Campaign for the Spouses Club is now open. It will close November 25th. With our fall campaign, we were able to give out over $20,000 to the schools that service our children, to post organizations, and to FRGs. If your FRGs have not claimed their money yet, they have until Friday. And then it's going back in our check account. If you have any questions, Darren Miller is our Second Vice President. You can contact him or email right there. Next slide. This is our November luncheon. Please pass this on to your FRGs. We have a record number of attendance. We'd like to keep that going and try to get 100 people into our luncheon. If you have your tickets for the retreat event for Saturday night, it is a sold-out event. Our doors will open at 6 p.m. and the regimental bar will open at 5 if you'd like to come a little early. Please bring your wallets. We take cash, check, and credit cards. We hope to see you.
Okay, a couple other announcements. Now, the regiment wants to put out a very special day coming up. If you haven't done it, it's pretty cool.
Yes, on the 26th of November, the regiment is going to invite the post to come out to participate in the regimental spur ride. So any spouses who would like to come out and participate in the regimental spur ride, please do. On the 25th of October, the next CSC, we'll have a slide presented for everybody. But RHHT For everybody outside the regiment that would like to participate, would be the point of contact, and they can reach at 380-2657. And I need registration by November 14th. For everybody who would like to participate outside the regiment.
All right, Black Horse. Around the corner, next slide. Hey, we're finishing up Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thanks for those who came out for the show on private violence yesterday. Pretty educational. Trick or treat coming up, same as last year. 5:30 to 8. I get that right? 5:30 to 8. Candy inspections. DES will be out there. Full-size candy bars at certain houses. And good time had by all. Let's be safe. Next slide. Okay, November, lots of stuff going on. Some good stuff for the soldiers. We got about 10 going down to the Dodgers to batting practice on Veterans Day. We got another slew of soldiers scheduled to go down for NFL Game Day on 9 November. We just got one last night for those interested. We haven't even put this out yet, but November Veterans Day, they go down on NFL Fox. Game Day, part of the set there. We'll put some information on that today. The same things we did last year for Veterans Day. We're covered down everywhere from Palm Springs, the Patton Museum, the Barstow, to the Veterans Home, to actually a new one, the Troops and Trains down there at the Harvey House in Barstow. And then another paid announcement there for, we do have baby baskets. If you have had a baby in the last couple months and you can get one, new parent support under MWR and ACS, you contact Kevin Ware over there in the corner, we'll get you lined up with some free goodies. And those should be happening for everyone coming out of the hospital to deliver those to you. Hey, we do have some challenges come up. We always put out, hey, there's nothing but jobs here. There's jobs at AFES, there's jobs at MWR, but we are struggling with keeping the doors open on a couple of our programs. If you're interested at all in working with children, we got nothing but openings in our CDC. So please see Ms. Deborah Harris. We have Kevin Ware. She's not here right now. She's an appointment, but please see Kevin Ware over there. We point you in the right direction. Because we do have some struggles coming up, we maybe have to be shutting down our toddler programs, which includes one of my own children, because we just do not have the people. We're at 63% manning complete in MWR, and we're about 50% manning in the child care centers. So that's going to affect about 50 families here on base, and but we're working hard to get creative on our solutions there to how to hire more people. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're on TV.
You said that the background checks are taking 3 to 4 months. Well, that's what we were told for the child care. So how's that going to affect the
It affects everything. It takes even longer for some of them. So the background checks, everything from the contractors on base to child care workers, it goes through the same choke point. It's called a National Criminal Investigation Background Act I. Everyone across the whole interagency is using it, and it is completely logged down. So, yes, you can still get hired to be a child care provider, but then you'd operate underneath something called line of sight, and that's how we honestly keep the doors open right now. So only about half of our child care providers, they've all been background checked. Some have come back, and that's why you see you see a green badge, and the one that's come back, and it's got a red dot on the badge. We're waiting for the background check to come back. We've done all the local things, everything we do local we've done, from military police to CID, all that, all the local stuff has been done, but the national level stuff we really have no control over, and it's an issue, not Army-wide, but interagency-wide right now. So it's a tough challenge. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Brandon.
So there are openings. If there are spouses that are interested in applying, there are openings for them to apply at least?
There's nothing but openings. And they can be flexible with the times. There's certain times they're needed more than others, but there are flex opportunities. That was a question about 3 CSCs ago about spouses wanting a kind of part-time job and not maybe work every day at a certain time, but we'll take any help we can get. The Fall Fest, raise your hand if you want to make it out to Fall Fest. Hey, thanks for coming out. We had several thousand people come out, starting with about 400 people come out to get their pumpkins decorated on Thursday night. 300 flu shots. You get that? That was awesome. Face painting, the terror truck. Anyone ready to do a terror truck? Raise your hand. We had I forget how many people went up for the terror truck. Yeah, over almost 700 on Saturday alone on the terror truck. So lots of good feedback, and let us know. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. Fill it out on ice, come down the street, drop a note in our inbox, whatever you want, so we know what the community is, cares to see next time. I know the camel rides and the pony rides were popular. They had to leave to another event, so we did shut that down in the afternoon because they were double booked. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Kids Visions for Life, so that's the second time we've done it. We're the only Army base that have done it, and we've handed out the information to every other Army base in the Army, and no one else has taken off on it. Don't ask me why. But we handed out over 200 pairs of free glasses for kids, optometry appointment, and to get their glasses. We'll continue to sustain that. We only can do that every 6 months. Can't do it any sooner than that, so we'll plan it again in the future after the kind of next PCS batch of people come in. That was definitely a sustain there. Any questions? We're handing off to the Commander General for final comments. Ms. Manning.
Good afternoon, Captain Commander. Sir, on there from the 10th to the 14th, it says Spouses Resiliency Week, offered through the MWR. I didn't hear any mention of that throughout the meetings.
Kevin, you want to talk then?
Yeah, spouse resiliency.
With Mike?
Yes, it's a military spouse resiliency course. We refer to it kindly as MRT for spouses. Ms. Silvia Marino, she's located in building 109. If you just make contact with her so that she can get signed up. And once again, if you attend that training, guess what we do? We give you free job care. But you must be registered Perry Central.
That's a great question. We had great response and feedback from the spouses who did do that, as well as the Total Mom course, another course that's often up there, who said, hey, some of the best training they've received. It's gotten real great feedback from people who have come up and have done it. Did I miss anything else up there? Big stuff?
Yeah, one question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'm tracking with Thanksgiving. Is it the back? It's going to be the 25th, not the 26th.
Yeah, Tuesday, both the contractor and the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment mess halls and dime stores are when we're going to have the big Thanksgiving meal. So both the same day. So yeah, it should be Tuesday. So we will correct that. Thank you very much. For the soldiers on meal cards, there'll still be a dining facility open on Turkey Day with turkey. It just won't be with all the crazy ice sculptures and fondue and all that. So you'll get some turkey, but the big, the op order with everyone kind of serving it and all dressed up and all the fixings. That's Tuesday for both of those events. We do have one cool event going on, which we're inviting we're inviting a whole bunch of Gold Star families in that same day. So one of the first hours of the regimental mess hall will have Gold Star families eating, and it'll be open to everyone else, whichever mess hall you choose to go to. Okay, next slide. December, a whole bunch of stuff up there. And January. Yes, question.
Yeah, I've got kind of multiple questions.
Okay.
We've only been here for 6 weeks, and I've never received a formal welcome from FRG, ACS, nothing. Is there a spouses club, or not spouses club, I've been to spouses club meetings. A spouses club, or spouses welcome.
You're welcome, Mary. Welcome to Fort Irwin.
Oh, okay. But like a spouses welcome thing, like a briefing for because I know the soldiers have one, but the spouses don't. And if we do go to those meetings, we are pushed back to the back, and we're not involved in.
You were pushed back at Fort Irwin?
No, I was not
We
invited.
have
I was not invited to the one here.
Actually, you were. You can have your spouse come see me. I'll make sure that you can come to the next one and be my guest. Or we have I'm really proud of the end processing and the welcome. Either the command sergeant or myself or the chief of staff actually briefs. And normally I see lots of family members, so I don't know how the invitation didn't get to you, but I'll make sure that you'll be at the next one.
Okay.
And you can attend with your spouse.
Yeah, I apologize for makes it there. But every Friday, it's every Friday at 9 o'clock. We usually see about, the last 3 months, we've had 50 to 60 incoming soldiers, and about 30% of their spouses show up. And then we have not every department, everyone you see over there gets up and briefs and kind of gives a one over the world. We also encourage spouses to do a passport initiative, which is kind of like a treasure hunt. You go around the base to learn, hey, here's where ACS is, here's Auto-Direct, and your name goes in the drawing for an Apple iPod or iPad. Come on down, and you can come to this Friday, will be the next one, every week. It's like clockwork.
It's like I went to ACS when I first got here, just to get information on base, and I'm like, well, here's a map.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
Okay. So we can do better.
I searched for stops, found them, when I went to stops coming last one. FRG, I haven't heard nothing from them. And I heard that things closed down on Block League.
A lot does, yes, ma'am.
So what do we do during Block League when we don't have the money to go to Vegas or go to LA or go to San Diego?
Everything doesn't shut down. Like, we'll make sure like at least one restaurant stays open. We balance the workforce we do have. A lot of people take off for block leave, and people don't. We try and still do certain things, but we definitely can't afford resource-wise to keep everything open over block leave, because that's what most of the workforce goes. Even with the workforce here, we have trouble just keeping stuff open. But we do have holiday hours. I don't know if the December holiday hours are posted yet, but we've signed off on them, so you kind of look at it. So it's usually not something that's shut down for 2 weeks straight, but it will be reduced hours for like the bowling alley and there's a community calendar on the, have you checked out the NTC web page at all?
I have, but kind of sporadic.
On the bottom left-hand side is a community calendar. That's the first place I would look for that, but then I can talk more afterwards and give you some more guidance for the book. But Facebook Outdoor Rec, MWR app, check it out on the Play Store, Google Play. No, we'll talk about it.
Oh, man, I'm Kevin, I'm the Division Chief of Army Community Service. First of all, let me publicly apologize to you if someone just handed you a map and said, here it goes. Anytime you have a problem with Army Community Service, the buck stops here. You come right to my office in Building 1317, and if you can't make a briefing for the newcomers and everything, I will personally give you a briefing on all that's available through Army Community Services. I encourage you to attend the MRTs for spouses, because in that program it talks about hunting the good stuff. The good things that are happening on NTC Fort Irwin. And I can assure you, you'll find out there's a plenty of stuff that's going on. So I want to also welcome you myself. So anytime you have a problem, come see me. The buck stops here.
And thanks for coming to CSC, because honestly, this is about an average size crowd here, which is why we're playing again on the Verizon Command Channel, Channel 29. You get to see it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the next box tour is not till January that it's open. There is one in November. It's currently filled. And then about 30 days out is when it opens up on the webpage. You go to visitors, visitor tab, box tour. You can sign up right there, but it opens about 30 days out. So January will be the next one open to kind of catch all. As the numbers sift out for November, there may be a few open, but right now it's full. Okay, also the long range calendar. Okay, we're going to end on time. If you have questions, we'll stay here as long as you want and answer them. Please come up, and I want to hand off to the Commanding General for closing comments.
Hey, battalion commanders, if you could stand up. Shooting father here. 2, 3. Okay, Todd, I'm going to hand the microphone to you, and I want you to talk about Go First Class for our soldiers. You can sit down. Take notes.
Yes, sir. So Go First Class is basically where we make appointments for any soldiers that need an annual exam and a cleaning. And what we do is we go ahead and we take care of their cleaning and exam in one appointment. The way that makes things better so that they don't have to come back a second time for a cleaning appointment. And basically, also I'll put in a plug for Halloween. Make sure everyone's brushing their teeth with all that good Halloween candy. 'Cause I like candy too, but I also floss and brush. Okay? Cool.
Okay, so 2 things you can get for your soldiers at Fort Irwin. You can get your teeth cleaned, you can get a flu shot.
Okay, so commanders, get the word out. I want 100% on crew shots. We've handed 2 streamers out. We're going to go down to the 171st and hand another one out. Colonel Kamura and I and the Command Sergeant Major are ready to hand out the I call it the Tooth Fairy Streamer. For the first unit, it's 90%. We want to be #1 in the Army because there's not a lot out in this desert, but we're going to win every single competition that we go after. And I was disappointed to find out that the Halloween costume starts at 8 and not 50. It stops at 8-year-olds and not 58. So I intend on winning that competition. Say thanks for coming out. So get the word out to the soldiers because as we found here, we got a newcomer, and the desert is one intimidating place. I hope your husband brought you in under cover of darkness, so it kind of looks like Hollywood. That's what I recommend everybody. When the sun comes up, there's a lot of. But you're going to be tough out here in the desert. There's a lot to do, so we're going to wrap our arms around you. We'll make sure that you get indoctrinated.
You come with us, and we'll show you the good stuff in the desert.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff.
I came from Polk, so anything's got to be better than Polk.
That's our #1 enemy. Fort Polk. I was going to say Fort Polk actually has a tour too, but theirs involves a canoe, a banjo, and all kinds of weird stuff. Out here, it's awesome. There's hieroglyphics. I guess that's what they call that. Okay, hey, listen, we're going into one more rotation before the end of the year. This outfit, where are they headed, Jeff? Where is 3rd Brigade, 4th Line? Okay, so they're gonna wind up being the CENTCOM Reserve. They're gonna go to Kuwait. They'll probably put some forward deployed soldiers into Jordan, and we know that they're very interested in being ready for anything that that our nation throws at them. So it will be a tough run up until Thanksgiving. I appreciate your support for your soldiers, the Department of Army civilians, and the contractors that are all piling on to make this a very successful rotation because it means a lot. You know, the world is a very dangerous place out there. The people that we train at the National Training Center are standing on the parapets out there keeping the bad guys away, and there's plenty of them. So thanks for everything that you're doing. Thanks for coming to our CSC. Have a great rest of the week.